refreshing. We are back early. They came back a couple minutes early from break, so we are live three-handed. We've got Mark, Dustin, and Louie. Mark's with a huge chip lead with 5.1. Dustin right behind him with 2.4, and then Louie down to the bottom with 1.2 chips. We are at 75, 150. Is that accurate?
Yeah, I think so.
That is.
Yep.
It was.
It's really steep. Yeah.
Okay.
So Dustin decides to call instead of jam here, which I guess I don't mind. He doesn't seem to be in the jamming mood. Really, no one does. So
Yeah.
this is fine.
Not yet.
Probably gonna go check. Louis is just gonna take a stab and take it down.
He thinks King High is best, and he's right with that kicker.
He just keeps putting chips out there. He just kept putting them down.
We are three-handed. First place takes 13,817. Third place, it is 6,185 for the next player out in this $215 tournament. This is the Roughrider Poker Tour Summer Spectacular Poker Series Event 4. It's a $215 buy-in with a $200 add-on, optional add-on for extra chips. 55K starting stack, 40-minute levels.
Here.
Dustin
Mark's
has
got
pocket
eights.
10s against Mark's pocket 8s. Louis got 9-5 offsuit.
Yeah, this isn't looking good for Mark. I think
Mark's gonna double up Dustin here.
Yeah, Mark's gonna either. It depends on if he decides to jam or not.
Three-handed, you're not folding pairs pre-flop.
The way he's been playing though, I could see a completion
a call or
here.
a jam. What do you think he's gonna do? I jam if I'm him.
Yeah, I would like a jam. I could see a call though. And it looks like he's putting out calling chips. Yeah. It just doesn't seem like he wants to.
Dustin's aggression frequency is so much higher. His VPIP is 35%.
Yeah.
His aggression frequency is huge.
Wow.
Okay. Dustin goes from a huge favorite to an underdog. He needs
Dustin's
10
just gonna,
or a 7.
He's just going to hammer this board. This is such a good board
it's a great board for him just to pile. There's 1.1 in the pot. He's got 1.9. Bet 500 at least.
Yep. 10-9, 9-7, Jack 9, Queen 9, King 9. And I don't know what he put out. Probably like 550. Yeah, he bets half pot. This is a great bet, and Mark just snaps.
Snaps all in.
And Dustin probably just has to call here.
With 2 10s.
I think.
Board.
See, I think with Mark snapping though, it might. Oh, and he does call.
He does call.
Wow.
He does.
And Dustin still has 25% here. He can hit any 7, any 10. A jack for more outs. Oh my goodness! And he boats up on the turn, and that's probably going to do it. Wow! And just like that, we're heads up. Just 2 hands in, or 3 hands in.
What a cooler! Wow! What a cool! You know who loves this? Louis.
Yeah.
Louis just made an extra $2,500 real dollars. He's dominated.
No, Louis is just probably thinking about his place in Florida.
Yeah,
and how he's just like, sitting relaxing.
I got the safari hat. I'm gonna move to that lucky seat 5.
I think I'll just sit here and I'll make another $3,000. I think that sounds good.
Nice.
And now Mark has a massive chip lead.
I'm gonna quickly refresh. I haven't done that when we came back.
And it's looking like Mark's probably gonna take this one down, barring a miracle run from Louis.
I like that. Plus 1,000 bet now for Louis. I mean, he's got a shot at it.
Yep. No, yeah, the odds are looking decent. Mark's odds are looking. Obviously, Dustin's odds aren't looking great because he's out. But
right, Dustin's not looking really great.
I want to say
they do a fist bump. Everybody's having a good time.
Yeah, I said who got 4th?
4th place.
Yeah.
Was
Jimmy
Wynn.
Huh?
Jimmy Wynn from Newtown, North Dakota.
Yeah, Jimmy. I said he was my favorite player to watch. I think Dustin was probably my second favorite. I think he really played this final table really well, and he very aggressive. And yeah, I mean nothing he can do there. It's just a cooler. And after
Kyle
you think about
Facebook,
you call.
My home game guy Kyle, he says time for a comeback. I've seen it happen so many times. 1 hand's all you need. 1 all in, 1 all in.
And that's a good point. Louis wins an all in. He's at around 2.8, and Mark is down to around 5. So.
Yeah, he's got a what is it, a 10-1 chip lead on him? But if you win, then it's a 2-8, and then if you win again, so he's got a 5.
Yeah, 5-ish to 1. Yeah.
Yeah, 5.
I mean, he loses all into him.
You win, and then it's
And the blinds are steep.
yeah.
75, 150, I think. So, yep, 75,
Louis
150.
picks up the blinds a couple of times.
Yep.
Oh, Mark's got queen, queen. Louis got jack.
Luckily for Louis,
he
just
just
has
gets
jack
away
7,
from it, and he shows the queens this time.
And
Louis
he's patting
gives
himself on the back. That's his patented
Yes.
move. I've seen that a couple times.
He's like, oh, good fold, good fold.
Yep, the good old pat on the back for himself. That's yep, that's discipline fold there.
So let's say it's 8-5 just to make the math easy.
Yeah.
Louis doubles up once. Now it's 2-4. Louis doubles up again. Now it's 4-3, and he's ahead.
It's very plausible.
2 double ups, and he's ahead of this game.
Being this shallow, I mean, Mark's a good enough player to be jamming King X.
Yep.
10-9 suited could probably be a jam if he chooses to. But he's just going to call.
9-10. He's ahead of the 7-9.
With these suited connectors, I always prefer to jam. I think you just have more equity that way.
There's a lot.
But obviously on this flop, he's not going to have any problem taking it down.
8, 9, 10. They both flop straight draws.
I think Louis is good enough to just fold here.
Louis got the worst straight draw. He's got the gut shot needing a 10.
I mean, he's going to get away with it again.
But
I
Jack
think
the chop. Ace, King, Jack, 10, 9.
I don't think Louis will get to the river unless he decides to bet here. Yeah, this is just a check fold. Mark's going to do a delay C bet again. Yeah.
They're playing it out. Wow. Why wouldn't you play it out, Robin?
Yeah, I think he's just saying that it's a pretty... It's like 12 buy-ins between second and first. I don't think Mark would take any type of deal in this situation.
If I'm Mark, I'm never chopping.
And Louis calls, and I think Mark's probably just going to blast here, and if he doesn't, he wins. So
he's going to win regardless.
Louis is losing this pot. I'm really interested to see if Mark's going to blast here.
That was a bad call from Louis.
It was.
With a gut shot.
Wow, and he's not going to be expecting to win
He gives up and goes, oh, I won with 10 high?
Wow, yeah, he says, oh, wow, yeah. I think that's a decent check behind seeing that, you're only going to get a jack to fold. King X probably snapping, and obviously an 8 is going to call. So
yeah, he gave up and accidentally won.
I think that's probably fine from him, seeing that he loses that hand. Louis has 12 bigs, so they always chop or they play it out.
I haven't seen a chop yet, Robin, when I've been streaming. I don't know if it has to do with the stream and they want to play it out, or if it's the bigger tournaments they want to play out, or just a dynamic. I have not seen a chop yet.
The chops I've seen have been more even stacked than this, for sure.
And this one is way off.
What's Louis going to do? He's just going to see a flop. He's running out of chips. He's going to have to stop seeing flops. I know he likes to see flops, but it's going to get him in real trouble.
You can't continue to see flops if you're Louis with 5-6 big blinds.
And now Mark out flops you again. And Mark's just going to take this down. Because I think Louis... Yeah. Oh, is he going to bet
just going to win with one pair.
See, I think when you limp there, you have to either bet the turn or bet the river. But Mark's going to take that down.
The only chop that I've streamed in the last 2 years was the 701 Black Friday tournament in Fargo last year. There was a modified chop, four-handed.
Oh, really?
And they did an ICM chop and then played for an extra 1,000 or something like that.
I mean, I offered one in my heads up to Coulter.
I would have said no had you offered a three-handed.
Sure. No, yeah. I don't offer a three-handed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I mean, I think I had the edge, but
was it just a full chop, or did you say ICM chop?
No, I just said, do you want to do anything?
Okay.
And he's like, no. And I'm like, okay.
Good, me neither.
Yeah. And, Louis just jams, and Mark folds. So, nice hand out of Louis.
Yeah, this is really Mark's tournament to lose right now.
It really is.
I mean, he's
going to have to run pretty bad to lose this tournament. So, or play bad, and I don't see that happening because he's been dominating.
Agreed.
No, Mark's been he's had the great combination,
like eights against queens and flop an 8 type of deal.
Yeah, he's had the great combination of playing really well and running really well. So that's what you need to win a tournament.
That's always fun.
Yeah. See what Louis has. King 10. This should be a jam, but Willie just decided to see a flop. I mean, I would like to see. I really like to see a jam here. A raise will get the job done, but I mean, I prefer jam. He just raises them in, Mark folds.
Yeah, I mean, and when you raise them in, when you've got 5 big blinds and you raise them in, you're basically putting all your chips in, so it didn't matter.
It does a little bit because you, for example, when we saw,
Oh, Misty, she says she really likes my commentating.
oh,
That
yeah,
might have
I'm
been
sure.
for you.
I think she's talking.
That might have been
she
for
might
you.
be talking about you. Yeah.
Is that mom
Yeah.
or sister? Mom.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the gentleman that took 7th or 6th when he opened King Ten suited and he folded off of 6 bigs. You put yourself in those positions.
Right.
Even though he has Queen Ten suited and we all know it's a call, you realistically think to yourself, well, what am I beating here?
And there is no ICM implications anymore. So
Sure.
now we just want to jam it in
Sure.
with 5 bigs.
That's.
In my humble opinion.
I agree. But I also think that that's not how Louis got here. So I don't think he's going to start playing like that.
Right. He's not going to change gears.
I know I'm retired, but which guy are you referring to, Kyle? Maybe he's referring to me.
No, I think he's referring to Louis putting in
Oh.
half his stack.
Well, I think
Instead of jamming.
Louis just has a cool hat. He's just chilling.
Safari Louis
He's just having a grand old time. He's just locked up $8,500.
just got off the Safari.
He's like, yeah, we're playing poker. I want to see flops. This
He's
should
going
be
to
a
take
jam.
a quick
I
dinner
think.
break and then jump in the 315 tournament as soon as this
That's
is done.
right. Yep. He's gonna grab a bite
Love
to
of
eat.
life.
He's gonna play more hands. He's like, oh, by the way, I just won $8,000. So
That's more than
Yeah.
I made this weekend.
that's more than probably almost everybody except Mark
Yeah.
and a few others made this weekend. And this is an action flop. Mark's
This
probably
is
going to take this down here.
Mark needs an 8 or a
Louis
queen.
called with a gutter earlier,
Yep.
but that's all he has here.
Now
he
he's
has
got
king
an over
high.
in the gutter.
Mark's been very passive, so
So once he starts betting
On
it
the
might-
flop, yeah.
you know, your spidey senses might start tingling, going, man, he must have it. He's
he
gonna
does
call.
complete. He's
If
ahead
a
right
queen
now,
comes
but yeah. And the queen does
and a
come.
queen comes.
This is the run that we were talking about.
Yes.
Let's see if Mark can get away with it. I don't think
Well,
he can.
Mark's got top pair and open ender.
Yep,
He's
top pair
never
and open
folding.
ender.
He needs a king to chop.
Will he call or will he jam? That's the question.
I think all the chips are going in regardless. Louis only has 650. He bet 200.
I agree. He calls. We'll see what the river action is.
Louis shoving. Any river. 650.
And that's about as bricky of a river as you can get. He's calling now. He beats Jack 10.
Yep.
This is snap call.
Yep.
Yep.
Wow, nice double for Louis.
Wow, and what once we thought was just going to be over in
Yeah.
a matter of seconds, we actually might have a real heads up. Like
Yep.
you said, one double up,
Yeah.
and here we are. Wow.
This is so fun. That plus 1,000 line, I told you, looks good.
Yeah.
Now it's 15 to 45.
Uh-huh.
He doubles up again. It's 30-30.
Yep. And we have
And
a real heads up.
it's a
Yep.
dogfight.
And the way Louis plays, it's not going to be easy for Mark. He's just not going to get jammed and called, right? It's going to be, you're going to have to grind it out. So
I got 20 seconds left on my timer. I'm going to hit reset right now.
You know, I think Intel tells me that Mark got a good 6 hour. Wait, no, he got like 4 or 5 hours of sleep.
Mark did?
Yep.
All right. I was in bed
just
by
got-
3 and up at 9.
Yeah.
What, do you know Mark?
No,
Or-
we literally had this exact conversation before we even started playing for
Okay.
some reason. Yeah.
He had a good night's sleep?
Yep. So you know, my inside sources tell me that he's probably well rested. So I think he'll be able to outlast Louis here.
So you say 6 hours is well rested?
Well, he didn't get 6 hours.
Okay.
But, he's rested enough, I think. Because I think Louis is just not going to give him the favor of shoving and call, like all in call. You know.
Ooh.
He does shove here. Yeah, this is a good shove spot.
Yep.
He's just going to take it out.
That was an easy fold.
Showing
He
the
shows the nine.
nines.
And that's what I do.
Yep.
When I'm playing like this, I want to show you I'm not bluffing.
Although
you
the problem
ever.
is, I don't think Louis is going to mix that enough.
It'll be fun.
Yeah, we really do have a heads up here now. So this is really awesome.
Yeah, it's not a gimme like it was.
Yeah, we still got 26 minutes in this level, so Louis really got wiggle room now. 16 bigs. I mean, he's got some really good playability now.
I want to grab another coffee.
Yeah, you can go ahead.
All right, let's do that. If it starts glitching before I get
Yeah.
back, click this connect button.
Okay.
You should have like 8 minutes.
Yeah, we'll see. Well, Eric has left me alone again, so just me. We're going to see a flop. Ace 10 Jack. Let's see if... Check, check. I think Louis might have checked out a turn there. I want to see a bet out of Louis here. He decides not to, and Mark's just going to take it down.
Dealer John offered to grab me a coffee, so I don't have to run out there, so we're good.
What a gentleman.
He is a gentleman.
Dealer John is in. Dealer John, that was...
Yeah, the Dealer John from a
he's
feature
really
table.
Cool guy.
He's
playing with him Thursday.
He's a good guy.
Yeah, really is.
Him and his wife, who's running the Action Tracker, John and Heidi, they're from the Fargo area. I met them when I was streaming for the 701, and then in April, the Gut Shot Poker Tour I was telling you about,
Right.
they 701 and Roughrider combined to put on that tournament. It was a $100 buy-in, great buy-in. Silas Sneed, who actually just was playing the WSOP and flew home today, he won that tournament.
Oh, really?
And I told him if he plays today, he...
Well, why did you tell him to come down then? You know, I'm playing in that tournament too. I don't want him in there.
I'm going to put you both on the table. It's going to be fun for me.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
It's all about me.
I'll take it. I like good competition.
But so Jerry met John and Heidi and said, "Hey, can I get these guys to work for me?" And I was like, "Yeah, let's do it. They're great." And so they came out this weekend, and they put in hours. I mean, she's behind the camp.
Yeah, he was doing the feature table all day yesterday.
Correct. No pushes.
Yeah.
I lock him in because of the sensitivity of these cards. I don't want regular dealers.
Because he's just a stud.
Just
That's
boom,
what
boom,
he said
boom,
too.
boom, boom. He's great.
He's just built different.
I've got a small. I've got a handful of people who I let deal. Wow. Just because some of them are so rough, they break the cards, and at $150 a deck, I don't want my cards breaking.
Yep, and we just missed Mark absolutely steal this pot as well. Mark's really kicking on all cylinders.
Rex is saying, "Man, with this passivity, I might get soaked on that 1K." Yep.
Yeah, I mean, he just doubled up though. So
it's gonna.
I mean, this is just how Louis plays. You know, it's either gonna work out for him. It's not. He's not gonna change it.
Yeah.
So, and I think. I mean, obviously Mark's the favorite with the chips, but I also think Mark just he's had enough hands with Louis now to where he probably knows what's going on. So I was probably just gonna go limp call, and Mark can really just effectively start jamming on him at will. Obviously not with 10-9 off, but with broadways, with King 5, with stuff like that if he wants to, and it will work a lot of the time. And Louis also missing a lot of these C-bets on dry boards.
Mark lets Louis catch up. He's got a double gut. He could take an 8 or a queen,
and that's why he's
hit his
leading out
straight,
here.
and so he leads out with a bet.
Louis is going to call here.
Yeah, he's got second.
It'll be interesting to see if Mark blasts the river. If Louis is going to call,
he needs a queen or an 8.
And that's a
10.
That's a wet river. I think Mark just catches enough of a piece to where he's just going to check it down.
Yeah. Mark had showdown value after that 10 hit, and it's thank you, John. Appreciate you, my friend.
And I'd really like to see Louis c-betting more, but I know that's not kind of his play style.
Right.
But I really think he'd be taking down a lot more pots if he was c-betting more.
Min clicking and c-betting.
Yep.
We're back to 1545. 9 million chips in play.
So, are you guys going to start streaming that one?
Yes.
As soon as this
Not
over?
immediately.
Right.
I had like 4 hours of sleep,
We're
so I'll probably go grab a bite and take a nap or something.
Yeah.
And then we'll do it probably after dinner break. We'll start streaming.
Gotcha.
So that's like 5 o'clock.
Sure.
So that'll give me
some time.
An hour, 2 hours.
Yeah, depending on how quick this heads up goes.
Yeah. I mean, we might still be playing heads up in 2 hours.
Which we thought would be over very quickly, but
with the 10-1 chip lead, we thought it would be done.
And I just said I think Louis should be c-betting more. He just c-bets ace high flop with 8-5 and he takes it down. And
he's smiling to himself, going, "That worked. I need to do that more."
Yep, that's right.
I need to do that more.
If this was live, I think maybe you heard me.
Yeah, you heard that.
Yeah.
Hey, quiet down. He heard you. Yeah. I like these
Yeah.
camera views when I'm shorthanded like that. I can take 2 of my cameras and wide zoom them like this, so we get to see everything.
Yep, Louis is just going to probably continue to play the limp game here. I don't mind it. If he's going to use it with almost all of his hands, then this is probably fine. Yeah, Mark just checks. This is fine. Let's see a flop. See, we're going to see a lot more flops now. Now let's see if Louis continues to c-bet here.
Mark needs a 7 or a 9.
Yeah, this board's pretty neutral, but wow. It's almost like he really did hear me. That's a great bet.
And Mark's
Mark continues.
Yeah.
That's an interesting continue. That's probably a fold, but he turns the 7 anyway. And that's just going to shut the hand down, I think.
Yep. Without a king or a 10 on there.
I think Louis is just...
He's just going to give up. I have king high heads up. Is that any
Yep,
good? Oh,
you
got
know,
a 7.
he has enough showdown there to where, Mark can very easily have diamonds.
For sure.
So, or like 10-9 of spades or something. I don't know if he's that advanced, but floating.
Yeah.
I don't think Louis is c-betting enough.
The hand charts kind of go out the window when we're heads
but,
up.
But, I mean, he just called with 9-5 suited,
right.
So, he could just be defending quite wide. And let's see if Louis continues the strategy, because I really think that this is his sole, this is his opportunity to really get himself back in this match.
Eight 9 versus 7 Jack.
I was kind of excited for this heads up to be over so I could go play, but now the way that it's turning out, this actually looks like a really good heads up match.
Oh, okay. Mark's got middle
These are the
pair.
Flops we want to see right here.
Louis got
and Louis
a
gonna
flush draw
lead
with a straight draw with a
300.
straight flush draw.
Now, if you're Mark, what are you thinking this is? Is he really
He's
leading?
got an ace.
Is he
Did
really
you
leading?
lead with it? Did you really not raise with an ace and then lead out with it?
He not only not raised,
believes him.
and he gets it through. And this is looking like an actual match here. Louis has really stepped up the aggression. And I think now that he knows that I have more chips to play with, these c-bets are getting through, and Mark isn't, maybe in his mind he's thinking Mark isn't defending properly.
Right. And we thought at 9-handed, 8-handed when Mark was playing so passively that he was just waiting to ramp it up.
But maybe that's just actually how it plays.
He just might be more passive.
That's right.
And not as creative.
And obviously, I think he definitely has creativity by calling that 9-5 suit. That's a very interesting call. I don't think it's incorrect.
Sometimes you just get stubborn, heads up.
Sure.
I do.
I think it's correct. And now Mark can start punishing here. If he just wants to jam this is perfectly fine.
With ace high on the flop, or on the...
and he does just raise. I don't know. I'm interested to see what... Yeah, 500K.
That's a good big raise.
Yeah, I think with that, too, you're risking getting jammed on, and then what?
It's been 10 minutes already? Or did I just not reset my clock? I probably didn't reset my clock.
Remember.
That's fine. I'll just reset it anyway, just in case.
Rex says I haven't seen this much limping since the last time I was at the ortho clinic. That's pretty good. I appreciate that one.
I like the humor.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Speaking of limping, Mark's gonna limp here. I don't like this at all, but it's gonna work out though probably, unless he flops a jack, which he does.
He flops a jack.
The question is, will Mark c-bet with deuces here? I could see the way he's been playing. I think this is probably a check for him.
I think it's a check, continue on the turn.
Yeah, 5 on the turn. I think with Mark, we're probably going to want to get some value here on the turn if Louis checks.
If Louis checks again, Mark. His mode was delayed c-bet on the turn.
Yep.
Now, if Louis checked, I think Mark would have bet.
And Louis keeps disrupting this rhythm. The question is, when will Mark take a stand? Because the last 2 times Louis has done this, he has had air.
Right. He happened
this
to
time
have
he
it
has
this
the
time.
goods. Yep. And Mark.
But yeah, he's.
I think with higher pairs like 6s and 7s, I think a limp versus Louis is good. But I just think I don't think Louis is calling enough to where deuces is a bad shove. Right. But maybe he just thinks he has the edge and he doesn't want to put it all at risk.
He doesn't want it. He's playing a low variance game. Yep. He doesn't want to jam in.
Which again, I was kind of thinking maybe it was just because he was just letting people bust out, but that's probably just his play style, which has obviously gotten him this far. He's 1 of 2. Still very clearly.
He's heads up for the championship.
He's lost like 4 or 5 pots in a row, and he is still very clearly in first. So
he's still got a 45 to 15.
I'm just impressed by Louis' adaptation during this heads-up match. That's really great. This should be a raise from Mark again. You should really start to get in Louis' head here when you pick up these nice hands back to back. Maybe he starts to think, well,
let me start raising.
Is he not allowing me to limp anymore because I have won these hands? Obviously, he has a snap fold, but yeah, really. Yeah, these dynamics start to build the longer we get into this heads-up match.
And now you're not playing against 6, 7, 8, even 4 or 5 people. You're just it's just you and me. I have to every hand. I have to play every hand.
This 20 minute, like, there's 20 minutes left in this level, which doesn't sound like a lot, or 16, but they're playing probably 1 or 2 hands a minute here at this point, or something of that sort.
Yeah,
so.
it's normally about 2 minutes per hand.
Yeah,
and they're getting in more hands because it's obviously heads up.
I would like to see an open from Mark. I understand that's not how he's playing, but he's just giving Louis a lot of free flops.
5-6.
Will Louis lead out on this? He will.
Is going to win, and
this
he's
is
got
a
the
great
king
play.
8. He says, "I'm going to
from
bet."
Louis. This is a much better board for his range than it is for Mark's. Mark knows that he doesn't have a spade. This is probably a fold from him, unless he decides to get creative and 3-bet, which he won't. Very nice hand from Louis. This is very impressive.
When we were heads up in other tours, we would cut the blinds from 40 to 20 minutes.
Right.
Just because you're seeing so many more hands, and you don't need to be at the same blind level for 40 minutes.
And if I'm not mistaken, the big blind ante is taken out, right?
Correct. They remove the ante. At 4-handed, they reduce it to...
right half, right?
A sick brag about you knowing what it is heads up. But I know at 4-handed, they reduce the ante because I got third. You know that they take it out heads up because you got first.
Yeah.
See, most people,
that's actually the only reason why.
There's 172 people that played this tournament that don't know they reduce it at 4-handed.
Wow.
And there's 175 that don't know they take it out heads up.
Yep. And obviously these two know that now too. I'm sure. And now he raises the 300K. And Mark
Kyle's making
defends.
jokes, Pennywise jokes.
Wow. Now, this is really impressive from Louis. Louis is going to c-bet this and take this down.
He is.
Wow.
It's just hammering Mark.
And Louis.
How long before Mark just fights? He did with the 9-7.
If I was a betting man, but this flop, you have no equity at all. This is an instant fold. Even if he has a worse hand, you can't play turns. That's a good fold by Mark. But I said it, and I was completely wrong. I said, this is how Louis got here. He's not going to change, and he absolutely has.
Yeah,
he's understood
he's shifting gears great.
He's understood that Mark is folding. He tried the c-bet. He's like, the limping isn't working.
His pre-flop regression is 26% now.
And that's probably not even accurate based on these last couple of hands because
that's based on the last 84 hands.
Right, but
and it's went way up. I mean, his pre-flop progression.
The first half of this heads-up match was just him limping off of 8 big blinds, and now he's kind of realized that, I got to go to the streets here. I'm not just going to be able to just sit here anymore. So I really respect.
I can't
that.
just make the best hand.
He outflops him again. I really want to see I need to see a c-bet here from Mark.
All right.
And obviously Louis is just going to complete, but this is good to see from Mark. This is a good c-bet.
Louis calling so quickly is going to shut Mark down.
I think so too.
If he would sit there and think about it, like act like he had a decision and then call.
The problem is there's 2 draws on the board and we've beaten either.
We got the
of
flush
them.
draws. He's got a straight draw, but he can't beat a flush, a heart, or a spade.
Yeah, I think this is.
Queen doesn't change
I think
anything.
for Mark, this is a mandatory bluff on the river. He could have hands like 10 high flush draws. Many flush draws out there. And Louis is just not going to allow him to bluff him off it.
He's just going to
take it right now.
blocker bet it. Set his own price, $250.
This is interesting that he bets the 9. Let's see what Mark does here. I mean, Mark is only thinking raise or fold. And Mark's got to be feeling that he's just, he's getting played here. I mean, he's probably thinking that, correctly, that Louis probably hasn't been picking up that many hands in a row, so. We're good. Well, what was 5-1 is now 2-1. I mean, like I've been pretty outspoken about this, but Louis has been very impressive to me. Kyle said Louis Douglas versus Mark Tyson. Yeah, it's I was pretty sure this heads-up match was going to be over pretty quick, but yeah, I've really enjoyed this heads-up match. I've been raving about Louis, but I think Mark has played quite well as well. not only in this heads-up match to get up to this point, and this is a flop here. This is a flop where things could get expensive. 200K from Louis. Mark has a decision, call or raise. He decides to call. He's been doing that quite often, just taking the passive line. 4 on the turn, it's a brick, effectively. He checks. Louis going to bet again, and Mark's probably going to call again. Louis so quick with the bets. 200,000. He's begging for a raise here. And he might get it. He does get the raise. I think Louis is good enough to call this street. Flush draw, straight draws. But Mark has been pretty passive. And he goes all in, and wow. I can't believe this. Mark's just going to Hollywood it and fold here. Wow. I'm very impressed and shocked by Louis' play here. This is great. He's basically saying, if you have a 9, you got me, but I think you have a draw, and he's called it right. And now, wow. If you guys are fortunate enough to be in here, you're really seeing a great heads-up match. What started out as Louis having about 7 big blinds has turned into they're pretty much even now, and Louis definitely has the momentum. And Mark's gonna have to keep his emotions at check. Just missed a massive hand.
I missed a massive hand.
So Louis has second pair. Mark has open-ended. Bets 2/3, gets called, and then the turn's a brick. Louis bets super small, like 20%. Mark 3 bets, and Louis just jams with second pair. And Mark had an open-ended, and now they're even. Louis picks up queens. Oh my goodness. And Mark has taken this and saying, I have to be more aggressive, and Louis is effectively, he's picked up that I'm passive, and so this is the time to be aggressive. Unfortunately for him, Louis picks up queens, and the momentum is just on his side. Now, will he just call or will he raise? It looks like he's going to min-raise, and this will not work unless he gets a jam out of Mark, which I could see happening, although Mark is not suited. But
if he hits a jack or a 10 on the flop.
Well, did he just call that? I think he min-raised.
Oh, Louis raising?
And if I'm Mark...
Yeah, that's a big raise.
Yeah,
825.
This is actually a good-sized 3-bet from Louis. This is, I mean...
He's playing great.
This is incredible from Louis. And he shows the queens as well. He's been bluffing, and he shows the queens. He really has been doing your
That's what I do. I show my great hands, and then I bluff, and I show my great hands.
I was afraid that he wouldn't be mixing it enough, but he obviously is, so... And now Rex has changed the line. Wow. That's a pretty big line shift, Rex.
All right, my thing didn't come back on. Turn this on, assuming Duff Dub in a yawn fest. And this Louis character quickly making this super interesting and entertaining. Thanks for the stream, fellas. That's TJ Coldness. He's a fan favorite from the, he plays a lot of 7-1s in Fargo.
Gotcha.
And I'm missing a hand. Let's go. Come on, connect. Sometimes it takes a second to connect, and as just as I'm about to restart it.
I guess since we're looking at a black screen, we'll have a little recap here.
Yeah, we're
just in case
here.
some people are coming in.
We're back.
Well, and we missed it, and now we aren't close to even. We are dead even.
Man.
I mean,
what Kyle and I were talking about.
And Rex has shifted the line to Louis minus 300, and that plus 1K is not looking too bad right now. Louis, no disrespect, I didn't see him having it.
I almost.
And wow.
I mean, if I knew Rex, I probably would have taken the 100 just because that's such a good line. Yeah. For the I mean, that's obviously the biggest
Rex,
line,
if you're still offering the line, I think I'll take it.
I'll take the plus 1,000.
And Mark is just, I just want him to see. I just want to see him fold the 9-4. Let's stop the bleeding a little bit. Let's get our bearings straight here.
They're going to talk chop right now.
They're gonna talk chop. Wow.
Let's see if we can hear them.
Obviously, I'm.
It sounds like they're going to take 1,000 out of the prize pool to play for and do an even chop. What's 14 plus 8 is 22.
Yep.
Take 1,000 out. They're gonna both pocket about 10,500 and play for 1,000.
Yeah, that's a great payday. That is, that is very impressive from Louis. He took, if that's the case, he took $2,000 at least that he did not deserve.
Yeah.
So, great from Louis. Wow. And
what I like to do when I do chop, which is rare, but I'm a big tipper for the staff.
Yep.
So what I do is I figure the tip into the chop. Like I would say, okay, there's let's do math here. So I'm going to go
math is hard.
13,817 for first plus 8,554 for second is 22,000. Let's take that by 5%. Because that's what I'm going to tip.
Yep.
That's $1,118. So let's just take $1,118 and give it to the staff.
Okay.
Right? That's first and second place. Pay that. Right? So then we go 13,817 plus 8,554 minus, what did we say, 111?
Yeah, it was like 1,100.
1,100. Let's just say 1,100. That's 2121 or 21,271 minus 1,000 that we're going to play for. 20,000 divided by 2 is $10,135 in my pocket. I'm playing for $1,000. I've already tipped $500, which is my 5%. Everybody's happy. That's what I like to do when I negotiate a chop. I take the tip out of it right out of the way.
Right.
To make sure, and especially if you guys are watching and don't know, in charity games, especially 701 and Roughrider, the dealers don't get paid. They're working on add-ons and tips.
Yep.
So there's a lot of new line after the chop, he says. Somebody press enter because I can't see the second line. I'm at the bottom of my screen. There it is, Mark 125. All right. So the dealers in the charity games are working for add-ons and tips, so you really want to take care of them.
Right. And I'm not just saying this because I'm like on the broadcast, but I feel like all the dealers here, I don't think I've ever had a bad experience. Like the dealers are just great
phenomenal.
here.
They're phenomenal.
And I was like, I guess I didn't know the thing about.
Boo, Kyle out. He doesn't like the chop.
Yeah, obviously as a viewer, I hate the chop because I wanted the action. But as a player, I totally understand.
And when I was streaming the Mid-States Poker Tours for the last 8 years, we did not allow chops. We just said no chops are allowed because we need to play it out. And people would go behind the scenes and they'd chop it, and it wasn't official, and then you couldn't hold them to it, and the taxes were weird and stuff like that. So my plan was always, it's their money. Let them do what they want with it. If the stream is over, that's not their problem as a player.
I agree.
So I don't mind the chops, but I do like they do it at the table and they're transparent about it, so we know what's going on and it makes sense.
And even with that, no matter who you are, $1,000 is still pretty nice.
$1,000 is $1,000.
I mean, I can do quite a bit with $1,000.
That's a good day.
It's a decent meal.
I could eat so many buffets here.
I think I could probably eat for like 6 months with $1,000.
What Sally's? I'm never chopping. Well, make it to heads up one time, Brian. We'll see if you change your mind. I'm just kidding. I don't know, Brian. That's funny.
Yeah, I totally understand that, but especially with live poker, when you don't get a lot of spots like this,
securing that extra $2,000 is good. Louis gets a flush draw,
and Louis is just gonna go back to Florida.
Mark has bottom pair.
He's going to be like, this was a great experience.
18 outs for Louis, ace, 6, 4, a diamond.
This has to be a bluff from Louis, mandatory. And he's going to do it. And Mark's in a tough spot. He's fourth pair.
$1,000, that's 2 hookers, a couple of 8-balls, whiskey, and beer. All right.
Yeah, all right.
I don't know how much. I know how much whiskey and beer costs. I don't know about those other things.
Mark's going to get bluffed on the spot. Louis has the nut low. He's got a.
I think he's going to give up.
He
I'll
shouldn't.
bet you $1 he gives up.
He kn-
Oh, I lose $1 on this one.
He knows he shouldn't. It's gonna get the job done.
Wow.
Yeah, he has the net low. I mean, it seems like Lou's a very good player. I knew he was pretty good when I played against him.
You can't go with I paired my 3.
He has a 7. He blocks 7-6. He blocks the nuts. That's
Louis
one of the
bets
bluffs.
300 on the turn and 400 on the river. You can't call with I paired my 3.
Yeah, this would be an interesting call.
Wow.
He's gonna make it.
He's gonna do it.
He's gonna take a stand here.
No, he's gonna count out, see what it looks like. He's looking at Louis to see, do I get any reads off you? Are you scared that I grab my chips?
He doesn't have a diamond, which is good. But he does have that 7,
He's gonna
which is
fold.
also good.
He's gonna fold.
He actually has a reasonable calling hand. It's a very hard
I
call.
bet you another $1 he folds.
All right.
Oh, $2 I
Wow.
owe you. Jeez.
And what a call by Mark. I mean, I guess like I said, I don't know how deep he is looking into that.
There's 1, there's 2 from me
Thanks.
to you.
All right, guys. I
Lost
didn't
both of
make
those bets.
I didn't
He
make the
called down
FT.
with I paired my 3.
I didn't make the FT, but I am $2 richer, so this was worth it.
Yep.
Thank
Add
you
that
very
$2 to your, when people ask how much you cashed out
Yep,
for, add
that's
that $2 to it. Oh my goodness. So we got 3 minutes left on this level. This is fabulous. I'm over here just checking out what they're chopping for.
Yeah, man, that's a really good call from Mark. I totally get it.
Wow, that was a great call.
You're just telling them how
Bottom pair.
proud
it's
you
hard
are.
to make a pair, your head's up.
Yep.
But Louis, great play by Louis.
Yeah, I think I think if Louis was playing his normal style, he obviously snap folds there.
Yeah.
But I think it's just because he's getting bullied. At some point, a pair is good enough. Let's see how Louis handles that. It's really easy to lose a hand like that where you know he should have folded, and you just start losing your mind. So
I think Louis made a fantastic
great
bet.
bluff. It's the nut low. It's a mandatory bluff in my opinion. But
My 10 minutes is up, so I'm going to restart
this,
after this hand.
man, this has been a great heads-up match.
It has
I
been
can't
so
understand
fun.
it. Especially from what we were expecting or what I was expecting.
When Mark comes in with a chop, taking the money pressure off, allows
Yeah.
Mark to make that call.
I disagree. I really do. I think I personally think Mark is good enough to make that call. He just made a bluff with 8-6, so he's not.
You think Mark calls that regardless when their heads up?
I don't know. I mean, we obviously won't know,
Yeah.
but I think like it's not the money, it's the looming fact that you had such a big chip lead and you don't want to throw it away. I think that would be the only factor that would make him fold. But Rex could be right.
We've been playing heads up for 43 minutes.
Yep, it's been a grueling heads-up match.
When he started as a 10-1 chip lead.
Yep, I figured 10-15 minutes.
First
heads
place
up would be
eliminates
over.
second place. He's got a huge chip lead, and 43 minutes later,
Yeah,
we're still playing.
and
They both flop a king. It's done now.
Well, Mark flops 2 pair, and Louis is going to go crazy on this board. It's so dry. Louis is going to bet
He
200K.
needs a jack or a 7.
He bets 200K. Mark should just call here. Let Louis keep
Definitely,
being aggressive if he has a bluff.
Absolutely.
We're hoping for a brick
Check
here
call,
on the turn.
check call, shove.
Wow, that's going to slow things down.
For Louis it will,
Yep.
but Mark, yeah.
And he shoves.
Oh,
Wow.
wow.
And that's gonna be the heads-up match, unless Mark finds an incredible fold. Wow. And Louis has been doing this with middle pair. He's just saying, if you don't have an ace.
Yeah,
I know you don't have an ace.
No. What are you doing, Mark? Are
Wow.
you going to fold this? You
And
can't fold. You've got 2 pairs.
If he could have seen what Louis has been shoving with, he would snap this. But realistically, Louis could very well have Queen 10. But also, he could just have Ace 10, Ace Queen, Ace whatever, and just jam here. He's very capable of doing that. I think this is a clear call. Wow.
No! Oh, wow, Louis! Oh, wow. What did you think he had? Queen 10?
Well,
Ace,
this has been a really
deuce, ace, jack.
this has been an all right debut for me
Wow.
at the. I don't. I have no analysis for this hand.
New line, Louis, negative 12,000.
Wow. And I just think that he doesn't know. Like Louis been
All
doing
right.
this. He
We
just
are
jams.
we are on break.
Wow.
Blinds just went up. We're on break. They're talking about how much they're going to tip. Now, like I said, right now they're both getting $10,000. A good tip
Yep.
is 5%. That's $500 from each of you. Give the dealers $1,000
Yeah.
and continue to play.
Yeah, I can't. It's hard for me to think about tipping right now. I'm just thinking about that hand. That is insane. Wow, we're going right after a hand where he called fifth pair and he was good.
Right.
And he
calls with bottom pair. I paired my 3. I think I'm good.
I guess he's just thinking the snap jam just means that he has queen 10 or a better 2 pair. Although he didn't raise pre-flop.
Yeah,
so it's hard for him
take
to have
the ace out of his
king.
range.
Well, he can have aces, but he
Ace
can't
deuce?
have an ace king.
Ace jack.
Yeah, but we have a deuce.
Yeah, you raise with ace jack.
He can
you
have
raise
ace
with
jack.
ace king.
He might not
Jack
raise with
deuce
ace
you
jack.
beat. He doesn't raise with ace jack.
He might mix it, depending on how he's playing.
Heads up, I think he's raising ace.
I mean,
jack.
I don't think it matters. I think it's a snap, but
Yeah.
especially with the chop already been.
Yep.
Yeah, it was.
Yep.
Wow.
Wow.
Oh man.
That was fun.
Oh. Now I'm really glad you asked me to do this.
Wasn't this
Wow.
so fun inside here?
Holy moly. I mean, wow. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, we're on break now, I guess. So I'm really glad break came after that hand. I don't think I can.
Yeah, we couldn't focus
I
anymore.
I can't. Wow.
I wish the microphone was on so I could hear what they were saying better. Well, let's both give them $100. No, guys, they've been working. They got 20 dealers here. They've been working for 5 days. They need to get paid. And that goes for everybody who cashes this weekend. Take care of your dealers. Take care of your staff. If you want a tournament with good dealers, you have to pay them.
Right.
That's what most of the poker rooms around Minnesota, North Dakota, stuff like that, the casinos don't have poker because they don't have enough dealers. And I tell them you have to pay your dealers more.
Yep.
You have to pay your poker dealers more so you can keep your poker dealers so you can have a poker room.
Yep.
And that will bring people into your casino, and when they come into your casino, they're going to spend money everywhere else. They're going to spend money in the pits. They're going to spend money on the slots.
That's right.
They're going to buy food. They're going to rent rooms.
Yeah, but
So
even in these tournaments, people are out there. They're gambling in between breaks. Yep.
The
Great for
heads
business.
up, the upper head people at this casino here in Spirit Lake, they came down here and they were just smiling. They were like, "We're loving life."
Yeah, they
right
got to
now."
understand that this is.
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
bring 200 people to our hotel.
yeah,
and
they should be
casino,
able
and
to do
just
this.
crush
They
this.
should be doing this as often as they possibly can. This is great for.
It is. Now
Great for them.
they come here. Roughrider comes here 3 times a year, every 4 months, and if they come, like I was talking to somebody who goes, "Man, you should do this every weekend." I went, well, no, because then
Every
it would be
weekend wouldn't draw it
saturated,
in. Yep.
and
Yep.
you wouldn't come. Even maybe 4 times a year, every 3 months
Yep.
would be a good.
But if you
every
did
3
it every
months.
month, every 2 weeks, it's not an event.
Exactly. Now it's too often, and I'm going to miss this one. I'll hit the next one.
Some people I've been playing with, they're taking their vacation here.
Exactly.
They want to come visit Devil's Lake.
Right.
and
The lake is beautiful.
And they just want to come.
I've got my camper out here. We went swimming on Thursday in the lake.
Even with me, I was coming down here for another reason. And if this was just one tournament, I
What
probably
was your
don't
reason?
play.
Was it a girl?
No.
Oh.
No, my brother was playing baseball.
Oh, watching a baseball game? Oh, okay.
Well, it's fun.
The way you were
Did I tell you about Thursday what happened? My brother's baseball game he had a game Thursday night. I was going to skip that tournament. His game got canceled because of rain delay. So I was like, I was past Grand Forks already. I'm like, might as well play it.
Let me just go jump in there. Nice. And that was a profitable day for you.
Yeah, that was a decent day for me.
3,500 up top.
That was an all right day.
All right, we're back.
We're back, and yeah.
Good luck. All right. Leighton has to go take a little break and grab a drink. We are heads up. They took a little break to talk about what they were going to do. That was such a fun hand to watch. Huge hand. Louis in the big blind with ace-6. Mark hasn't put his cards over the reader yet. Mark limps in. He's got the jack-4. Options on Louis in the big blind with a suited ace. He makes it 400,000. This is just a clear fold from Mark, I think. Yep. It's got to be frustrating to be Mark right now. I mean, you had a huge chip lead the entire final table, and then Louis just comes alive at the end, and he outflops you, and he outplays you, and it's just Mark still has a chip lead. It's 25-19 right now. I'm not positive how that happened because Louis just won a big pot, so I'm not positive how they could be. Well, that's fine. And those stacks are rough stacks. Those are not exactly accurate. At break, we do a full chip count and adjust the counts. Raise and take it by Louis with an ace-6 of suited.
100, 200, huh?
Yep, 100, 200.
So we're getting steep.
Oh, here we go. Mark flops top pair.
Wow.
Louis flops middle pair.
And we've seen what Louis does with middle pair. He goes a
Yeah.
little nuts.
Yep, and Mark
Mark's
might be thinking about how he just folded two pair.
Mark's just going to call here. And there's a very good possibility Louis just jams turns. He might just jam here. No, he wow.
He's
The
changing
6
gears.
cents.
Club
And
comes
the
out.
club comes.
Check, check. I've got a 10.
Great
Is
check
that good
back.
enough? No, not good enough.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a spot where
I-
King 10 is
I
probably
really
good
want
most
to
of the
know
time.
the rationale behind the shove of the King 7. I'm assuming he just knows that he
You don't have an ace.
can't
I've
really
got a
have an
king.
ace. I have a king. I don't really want to play this out. I'm just going to jam. And he's done that a couple times. and
I think, honestly, it was a value bet. Like, he was like, I've got the king. I'm all in.
I think-
He wasn't bluffing.
yeah. Well,
You know, he thought he
it
had
was-
it.
It's definitely an interesting hand because if
He
I'm in his
has more
spot, I
ups
don't
than
want to get
think
called.
because he wins with an ace.
Yeah.
No, he chops with an ace or a jack, and then he wins
But
with
he
a 7.
can't think that if he thinks he has
tens.
two pair, he's not.
Oh, there's my 10-minute
Mark's got
warning.
tens here. Let's see if Louis continues to be aggressive here and try to see a flop against. He's going back to that 4x sizing, I think.
With two 10s, I think Jack.
He goes
8 folds here.
2.5. Interesting. So he's gonna start. Maybe range betting a little more.
Oh, Louis
And he's
is
gonna
come
force
along with
Louis to
Jack
call.
8.
Here we go.
He's on a safari hunt.
We'll see how much longer this heads up match lasts. This has been really
All
a barn burner.
hearts.
Wow.
Mark has a 10 high
And
flush.
if
Louis
a
has
heart
a jack high
comes
flush.
and you're Mark, you got to be thinking,
all
wow,
in the
and he
call.
snaps, wow.
I've got a jack high flush.
And this is,
I got a 10
this
high
is pretty.
flush
I mean,
draw.
if Louis, if Mark holds here, this is
Jack
this is
or a
heads up
heart.
match.
11 outs twice. This is
So
what
the King Deuce hand might possibly not matter. And Louis got 45.
Oh,
wow,
heart.
and he turns it.
Jack high flush wins for
and,
Louis.
And
Oh my goodness.
Mark's gotta be feeling pretty good about that chop right now.
Yeah, he just
And like,
wow. Let's reset this.
and this is the
computer
most
really quickly.
unlikely of events in my opinion. Louis just coming out of nowhere and just
33
making it
to
3 to
11.
1 now, coming back from
And it's
down
not
5
over.
to 1.
It's
not over, but if I'm Mark here, it's going to be hard to not be just. I mean, you had such a massive
Yeah.
chip.
You go from 10 to 1 to a 3 to 1 dog.
I mean, you just feel like
In an hour.
you have nothing behind you. And
And does he just get tilted and just start piling now?
yeah, we'll see. I don't know. He seems like a pretty level-headed guy, but I think even with your play right, you might just become more timid and just be like, well, he's always going to have it, or he's always just going to jam over me when I have second pair, right?
While they're counting chips, I'm going to grab a cup of coffee.
All right, sounds good.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that heads up matches, usually aren't this wild. I guess is probably the only word for it. Yeah. 44 viewers in here. You guys, I'd say you guys are pretty lucky to be seeing this. You guys started watching at the right time.
Yeah, this is super fun.
Wow. Yeah, I'm really having a blast here. This is great.
I'm glad I caught you at after you busted.
Yeah, me too.
It's always awkward when somebody busts a tournament, and I'm like, hey, do you want to jump in the commentary?
No worries.
Because sometimes people are like, no, I want to go home and kick my dog.
Yep.
I don't want to do anything. But after talking to you for the last couple of days, I thought, you know what, this is a kid that might want to just jump in here and talk poker.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I just see it as like
Mark with King, Louis with 8-10.
Yeah, wow.
They're getting big hands now, too.
And, Mark, he could rep the tilt here for sure. After losing a big hand where he was definitely ahead.
Oh, he was crushing him.
He goes for 600. I really like this sizing.
Yep, and lets him go. And
he's going to induce some shoves from Louis. We know he's been shoving kind of light. So
this is why people like poker.
Yeah, this is
why people play poker.
That's
honestly,
right. To get into heads-up matches like these.
Well, I'm never going to beat Tiger Woods.
For sure.
In the golf, in playing golf, I'm never going to beat Michael Jordan on the basketball court. But I can sit down with the best poker player and
you could
beat him accidentally.
Yeah. Long term, probably not. But
most of the time, long term, definitely not. But short term.
What do you think you're doing against Fedor? Oh man, that still gets me. That's pretty funny. Yeah, and that might even be worse for Mark too. You just get kings. He's been super aggressive. You raise, he just folds.
And then he folds.
And he's like, well, I'm still at 12 bigs. I just got kings. I should be doubling up a lot of the time here.
Let me close this gap again.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, Louis just folds 4-3. Very good fold from him. Very disciplined. Yeah, this is it's incredible. This heads-up match, I've said it before, but
nice, perfect.
Yeah, this this has been going on for an hour now, but we should be coming to a conclusion relatively soon, although
it's tight enough
like
now, it should be very close.
As we say that, Mark flops middle pair. Louis decides not to c-bet here with some backdoor equity. Turns a 10, changes nothing. Louis is just going to give up. Mark's going to bet and take this one down, so pretty standard. Louis is... It kind of seems like he's been knowing how to pick his spots, maybe outside of that, the king deuce hand, but yeah, he's been doing really well. I feel like a broken record because I
just keep saying the same thing.
I promise that I have no relation to or do not know Louis Schaefer. I'll make that disclaimer. I just think he's playing really well, and I'm just really excited to see such good poker. And Mark too. Mark, don't get it wrong. Mark has played quite well. He's just kind of, wow. And Mark shoves over Louis' limp, and he has ace queen. Wow. And Mark decides that this is the time to shove, and I think king 7 is a reasonable shove over Louis' limping range. Louis just happens to pick up ace queen, and this could be all over for Mark. Wow.
He needs a king or a 7.
Wow,
and that's exactly a 7 now. King's going to give Louis a straight.
And this is a really bad.
He's got 3 outs, 12%. Man, Rex, you should owe me $1,000 right now.
Picks up extra equity, has a queen or a 7, but it's looking like Louis is going to take it down. Wow.
5. The dark horse wins. That's ridiculous.
Wow.
I wonder.
Wow. And yeah, Louis is your, hold on a second. It's your $215, $200 add-on champion. Wow. That's incredible. I think we're maybe seeing if we can get him to come and say a couple words here. But yeah, wow. Appreciate everybody tuning in here. My first time commentating. Wow.
Well, let's tell them that. No, I'm saying let's tell these guys what's going on. So I grabbed I'm going to throw this video camera on here. All right, we're right here, Louie. So what we did, Safari Louie from Florida. Congratulations, first off.
Winter, Florida.
Winter, Florida. That was so fun to watch. When you got heads up, you were dominated 10-1, in the chips, and they were talking in the chats like what the line was for Louis to win or what the line was for Mark to win or whatever, and everybody counted you out, but you started shifting gears and came back. The big hand. Have you heard about this at all yet?
No, I haven't.
The big hand right before break when you had a king,
Yep.
he flopped 2 pair. He flopped king deuce on a king deuce jack, and he just slow played it, and then you shove the turn, and we're like, okay, game's done. And he folds 2 pair, and we're like, no, what happened?
Well, that was a pretty nice straight laying out there.
Right. I'm like, does he put you on the queen 10?
Yep.
Does he, wow, how do you fold 2 pair heads up when the hand before he called you with bottom pair with just a 3? So it was super fun to watch.
Yeah,
anyway.
I wasn't expected to get called with him popping a 3 over
With the
on that one.
never. I lost $2. It might still be sitting there.
Yeah.
Is it still sitting there? Nope, he took it with him. So I said, I'll bet you $1 he just checks it back. And he goes, no, he's gonna bet. And you bet, and I'm like, geez, here's $1. And I go, well, I bet you $1 he folds. And that was an easy bet for me. I thought I'm winning my money back, and he makes a call, and so I give him $2 for that one. So that was well played, really good. The way you changed it up at the end was really fun.
Well, I had to idle quite a while. I mean, every time them big stacks get into a squabble, you want to be the heck out of the way.
Exactly. That happened a few times.
Yes, it did, and then it just comes down to a point you've got to make a move once in a while, or you're out.
Yeah. What was your? So that was your strategy going into it. When we came back with 12 players, like I watched you last night on the feature table, and it was great. Here, let me move this out of the way so people can see. People can see you getting your picture taken. Look at that guy. That looks like a champion right there.
Yeah.
All right. So out of the 12 players coming back, do you know where you were in the chip counts or anything, or do you pay attention to that?
I think I had 750 some.
Okay. Was that up at the?
I was on the lower end.
Lower end?
There
Okay.
was maybe a stack that was lower than me or 2.
Okay. So you were grinding all day though.
Yeah.
You came back at 10 a.m. and right
I
now
never
it's
play
3.
good with a lot of chips. I mean, it just seems like I get chips and I can right
just
away
give 'em away?
Throw them away.
All right. Perfect. Well, it was
probably
super
best
fun.
I just stay low chipped until.
All right. What's your plans now? Are you gonna go take a little break and jump into this
I'm gonna
315?
jump right into this.
You're not
turn
taking a
and
break.
see
You're
if
just
I
gonna
can
jump right
smack
in.
It again.
All right, that's great. Hey, best of luck. Do you know where you stand in the weekend points race?
Well, this is my first.
Oh, this is your first cash, so that's whatever you made today
for
is
this
what you
weekend,
have.
Yep.
Okay, it's going to be close. Chad Fowler won it, or excuse me. Sorry, Chad. Chad made some points today. I'm blanking on the guy's name who won yesterday. Had like 80 points or 8, whatever it is. So you're going to be like first or second, depending on what happens in this next tournament. So good luck. Thanks for coming in here.
So what was my odds coming into it when I was?
What would the odds maker give you?
Yeah.
Minus 1,000, or they're like for every $100 you bet.
Yeah.
And I said, I mean, you can go back and watch the thing. I said, I like that bet at 1,000. That's he's not out of it for sure. I wish I would have snapped it and said I'll take that bet, but I just said, man, how much did he win? So officially, the payout for first place was 13,817. Yeah, Yoder from yesterday. Thank you, Dwayne. Yoder won yesterday. That's the name I was blanking off. And second place was 8,554. They chopped it when they got even heads up. They both chopped it and they played for another 1,000.
Correct.
And so you won the 1,000 plus
the point.
So let's do this. So 2,200 is, so you won like like 11,000 total
11,000
and change.
and change, right?
11,000 and change today for the extra 1,000 after the chop. So excellent. That's a great day.
Yeah,
it's perfect.
It is an awesome day.
Go jump into this $300 tournament and get some more points.
I don't mind chopping with people when they're friendly, and it was a very good heads up. I enjoyed the
Oh,
tournament.
we love the heads up. We were watching it. We thought it was going to be over immediately when, first place in chips takes out second place in chips, and you move over to the 5 seat, and you're down 10-1. You just dominated in chips, and then you just come back. And a friend of mine was talking. If we go back and look at here, we're like, all right, here it goes. Time for a comeback. Seen it happen so many times. 1 all in is all you need, and we're talking like that. We were rooting on you, and then your odds kept getting better. Minus 1,000 to minus 300. What does he say? One of these times he goes, okay, if he wins this one, minus 12,000. So if he folds, so it was when he folded that 2 pair.
The old safari hat come through for me.
Yeah, that's what I said. I said safari.
I was on a safari hunt yesterday, and I went fishing.
You got it. You got your elephant today.
Yeah.
So excellent. All right. Hey, perfect.
Thank you.
It was super fun to watch you out there. Good luck in this next tournament.
Thank you.